It looks like online we have Cheryl Hartman, Adrian Beck, Andrew Chorney, Christina Dewar, Damon Frisbee, Sharon Hughes, Melissa Fisher, Spy Newman, MCAT. In 206, we have Commissioners Vero, Strohmeyer, Slotnick. We have Jacob Ellington, okay, Jackson Lee, Silas Phillips, Ann Hughes, Carrie Powers, Annie Tackley, Allison France, Andrew Hagemeyer, Chris Lounsbury. We have Vanessa Fink. We have Tenzin Haze and Griffin Smith. I got Carrie Powers. I think I got everybody.
You did great with that.
Thank you.
Way to go, Annie.
Never want to do that, so. Public comment on items not on the agenda. Consent
We
agenda.
actually do have someone.
Oh,
We do?
I think that's me. Is that me?
sorry.
Vanessa.
Yes, but I was like, but it's online. Okay.
Yeah. So should I just wrote something, so, because I'm
That's
not a public speaker and a little nervous.
All right.
So I'm addressing,
Yeah, you're
And you
good, and you don't even need to be nervous.
You can come up to the corner here and the microphone's there.
oh.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking on behalf of the feral horses in Miller Creek that have been in the paper and stuff. So I think what would be most relevant is for me to share just a brief timeline of my experience with the horses as a Miller Creek resident. So during the winter of 2020, one of the feral brands came down off the mountain. A young filly had been grabbed by something and was having significant trouble moving around as she had deep gashes on her haunches. I started making phone calls to FWP, BLM, Brand Inspector, County Sheriff, Animal Control. They all said the same thing. There's nothing we can do. We're not responsible for the feral horses. So they couldn't help her and they couldn't end her suffering. In spring of 2024, I was woken up before dawn. My mares were squealing and striking at the fence. There were two bachelor stallions that were pacing my fence line. I had to herd them back up the road so they didn't cause property damage or injure my mares. This past spring, while hiking on public land, my kids and I came across a down foal that had been abandoned. Again, I made all the phone calls, no guidance, no offer to help. Our options were to leave her there to die or try and get her some help. Leaving her there to die with my kids was not an option. She wasn't ambulatory, so we wrapped her in a blanket and hauled her the better part of a mile to our car. Then I drove her to my vet. Once there, they couldn't even touch her or treat her until they got permission from the brand inspector. Because even though nobody is responsible for them, they are under the statutes of abandoned horses and there's laws pertaining to them. So after having some very heated conversations on the phone with the people that I'd already been trying to get help from, she was treated and released into my care. In June, I received a call from concerned neighbors because one of the feral foals was stuck in a barbed wire fence by Happy Paws. This becomes increasingly problematic when one wants to help, but also let them remain untouched. And there's no guidance on what we should or shouldn't be doing. When I arrived, the foal had freed himself, but the band had left him and was across Miller Creek Road and out of sight. He was in distress, he was screaming, he was pacing. This is a stretch of road where the speed limit is 35 to 45 miles an hour and there's a blind curve coming off a hill. We had to stop traffic in both directions to prevent him from getting hit or causing an accident. Once the traffic was stopped, he crossed safely with very little intervention from us. In August, a friend of mine in Miller Creek sent me a photo of a young adult sitting on the ground, cradling one of the feral colt's heads in their lap. This is incredibly unsafe, as mares can be fiercely protective. This is also a behavior that is being normalized in our community. A month ago, my husband and I were driving down Lower Miller Creek and we saw the horses in one of the Linda Vista parks. We pulled over to watch them for a moment, and as we were sitting in the car, a father with two young kids crossed the road in front of us with a bag of apples. He proceeded to give his kids some apples, and they hand-fed the feral mares and foals. When I mentioned to him that he was putting his kids and the horses in danger, he thanked me for my concern and continued doing what he was doing. Earlier this summer, a young girl was kicked for getting too close to a foal, and she required medical attention. And as I'm sure you are all aware, two horses have been hit up Miller Creek Road, totaling both trucks. Luckily, they were in trucks because it probably wouldn't have been the same outcome. One of the horses had to be put down due to a broken leg. It took over an hour and a half for the highway patrol officer to get permission to shoot the horse and end his suffering because they aren't under anybody's purview. All this to say that I think it's time as a community that we take responsibility for these animals. If we continue to ignore the issue, it's not only unfair to the horses, but it's only a matter of time before someone gets seriously injured. As far as what I would like to see happen, I would like to see common sense ordinances that makes it unlawful to feed, water, and pet them, because right now it's not. I'd like to see a county agency appointed that's responsible for responding to altercations and issues that arise with them, including a plan put into place when one is injured or sick, because I don't want to keep getting the phone calls. I would like to see the establishment of a volunteer-led community group that helps with education in our area schools and helps with constructing a management plan that includes appropriate placement for animals that need to be removed or rehomed, because they now have become reliant on well-meaning community members. Without a plan in place, the current statutes say that any horses rounded up get sent to auction. We would like to avoid this as a course of action. We need to have discussions about population control and how to prevent them from reestablishing in our residential neighborhoods and hazing them out immediately if they do. I'm really hopeful that we can do better by these animals for their sake and the community. I appreciate the opportunity to come in front of you. And I also have 4 letters from other Miller Creek residents that couldn't be here. I can read them to you, or I can just submit them in the record. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, that's all.
Thanks for coming.
Sharing.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
was there any questions? Did anybody?
Good food for thought.
Yeah.
Do we
thanks.
have your contact information?
Are you Bonnie?
I'm wanting.
Okay.
Yeah, try to meet you or see you again.
Yeah,
Actually, can you share it again
sure.
with?
Or is it on your letter?
I know, I just wrote notes. Those are letters from neighbors. I can give it out front.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
just give it to her out front?
Yep,
Christina.
out front, Christina.
Okay,
That
great.
would be-
All right, perfect.
Thanks so much, Vanessa.
Vanessa,
Thank you.
I guess, is there any other public comment on items not on the agenda? Okay. Do we need to name or do anything with the letters?
No.
Okay. Consent agenda, the number 1 has been postponed, so 2 through 7.
there was one, I just want to call something out.
Yes.
Number 3, around Mark Wayne, who works for MST sport team. I did a ride along with him, and he was just super impressive to watch work with a really, really challenging population. Very glad he's choosing to continue on in this, and that he's any doubt in such a thing. I just want to throw out a bunch of praise to this guy who I got to watch work and did a really incredible job in very challenging situations.
Thank you for sharing.
I would move we approve items 2 through 7.
Second, any discussion or public comment? All in favor? Aye. Okay, Andrew Hagemeyer for action. Oops, did everyone vote? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, Hagemeyer.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago at your Thursday public meeting, the commissioners approved a resolution creating the Missoula Jurisdictional Advisory Committee. So Josh, you were absent, but you know what this is. This is a new advisory board to the Missoula County Commissioners on items related to tax increment financing, and it's specifically going to be made up of representatives from the taxing jurisdictions that are subject or with it, that have a targeted economic development district within their boundaries. So now that that resolution has been approved, we need to approve the bylaws. And that's what we're here to do today.
Do we have any comments or?
Oh, no, we didn't receive any comments on the bylaws. And we, one of the things that I wanted to point out was that the statute requiring the creation of this committee requires that the county have a seat on this board. And working with John, what we did was looking at the statutes for creation of committees and boards. We can elect that the county's member be a non-voting member. And so in the bylaws, we put that in there that the county representative may be a non-voting member.
Given that I'm on the MDA board, I'd be happy to play this role.
We thought that would be a good congruence between the two boards. So otherwise, it's pretty standard bylaw. Yeah, a lot like our other advisory.
So we approved the bylaws.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion or public comment? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, Silas. Marshall Mountain,
Indeed,
the Rail Garden.
the Rail Garden. Action Sports, round 3. Cool. Yeah, pulling you all together to formalize the memorandum of agreement between Missoula County and Girls on Shred, 501c3 nonprofit in town running youth programming around action sports. We're looking to advance the Marshall Mountain Winter Rail Garden, which is a hike access freestyle terrain park for winter use. Run, whenever the snow flies through March 31 is kind of our end date. For years, users have created their own freestyle features at the site. And this project would, recognize the use and create basically a new winter recreation zone at the Marshall Mountain Park base area. The rail garden will be free and open for general public use, constructed to meet the needs of skiers and snowboarders of all levels, be sort of progressive in nature for people's skills, and will allow space for other popular base areas such as sledding, backpacking, backcountry skiing, etc. We're furnishing the project via outside funding and are working with Girls on Shred, via this MOA and and their group of volunteers to ensure regular maintenance and upkeep of the site. Yeah,
It's great.
things are falling into place.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
So, sorry, who's responsible for maintenance and upkeep?
Girls on Shred and their volunteers.
Okay, and then does the county or you, who's been checking on that or who?
I'll be checking on it, and they're going to have maintenance logs up at the site for their volunteers and their
And Erica
volunteers.
Grindy is
Hey.
fully stoked.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Eric Grindy in a half pipe?
Oh, yeah. Great,
Absolutely.
great. I hope someone will print that graphic of Erica Grindy in her soak.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be on the cover of our
Okay.
poster.
I wanted to say too, thanks to Silas, he was recognizing the need last winter. It's been a use that's been out there for many years now. And so the ability for him to recognize that and then organize this group of users that often aren't the easiest to organize sometimes, but getting them together and getting them excited about a dedicated space at the base area for their use. It's been great to see. So thanks for all you're doing on this. Yeah.
Jackson, thank you so much for saying that because
Yeah.
this is a really cool example of yes, being able to.
Broadening the constituency of people who are invested in seeing this place succeed and showing our dedication to including all kinds of recreation out there too.
Super true. Thank you. Yeah, and we're also, I think if we get this thing going, we're gonna hope to run some more youth programming and
Awesome.
more
Super fun.
events. It'll
That'd be
it'll
great.
open some doors.
That would be great.
Put a hand in the back.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Just a question. I understand there might be a big, rail jam event happening too at Marshall Mountain. Can you talk about that?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's getting put on by Board of Missoula
Okay.
through a special event permit, and they're not going to be using I think it's going to be earlier. I think it's next Friday. So they're going to be bringing their own features in, and
Probably they're on snow too.
I was gonna say,
they're on
what?
snow. Yeah. They gather snow from the ice rink, and they're gonna like pull it up in a truck and shovel it onto the slope.
Oh, wow.
Dedicated.
That is,
But yeah, it's maybe they'll tie it to the development of the rail garden, but it's their own thing, and they'll bring their own features.
And can you guys break down what other, amenities and services Marshall's going to be offering this winter? Like, I don't know if you guys have that space for warming open for the winter or anything like that.
Yeah, we won't have the interior space of the base building. We did run events last winter. We're trying to get a winter fest going at Marshall this year, and there's some work we need to do with Friends of Marshall Mountain and other partners. But the outdoor fireplace space sometimes gets used throughout the winter. As to what activities will be going on up there, there's, as Silas mentioned, there's a lot of youth programming. Forest School operates up there, city parks and recreation programming, a lot of it in the form of sledding in the winter. And then we'll also get the backcountry ski and snowboarding communities super active up there in the winter. Fat biking, we had a pilot last year that will likely continue this year with the Missoula Mountain Bike Coalition. And then you have the freestyle skiing and snowboarding at the base area as well. Yeah.
And then, are you guys still working on kind of the forestry project of cutting trees? Talk about how that kind of opened up some of the runs.
Yeah. Yeah, the forestry project's complete as of, the end of October. Done with that project. So yeah, there's the forest health component, wildfire risk reduction, but then the other upside was the legacy ski runs and opening those back up, and already getting positive feedback. We're really looking forward to the first snow to test out the skiability up there. Yeah.
thank you. Thanks, Griffin.
Yeah, good questions.
Any other questions or comments for Silas or Jackson? Motion?
Yeah, move that we request the board approve the memorandum of agreement between Missoula County and Girls on Shred for Marshall Mountain. Second.
Any further discussion or public comment? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great word.
Different use of the word rail.
The other rail authority.
I think that should be their name. The other rail.
Funny.
Marshall Mountain Rail Authority.
Great.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, we got Spain, Newman.
All right, can you all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sir.
Cool. Good morning, commissioners. My apologies for not being there in person. I had another meeting backed up right against this one and didn't want to be late. I come before you today with an action item regarding potential intervention in a utility merger in front of the Montana Public Service Commission. In late October, Northwestern Energy and Black Hills Corporation filed a joint application at the PSC to review and approve their proposed merger. The PSC has established a deadline of November 17th for entities that want to intervene. And as a reminder, Missoula County is home to more than 10% of Northwestern's Montana customers. Becoming an intervener gives a party a seat at the table in the deliberations around a decision, the right to request documents, some more information, the right to provide testimony, some influence on issue identification, that sort of thing. If the county decides to file the paperwork to join the merger docket as an intervener, it is not obligated to take any action or position, but it does, again, really preserve a seat at the table should the county want to have a voice in the merger process as it unfolds or as information is put forward. The action item today includes retaining UDA Law Firm to file intervention paperwork on the county's behalf. Taking that first intervention step, reserving the seat at the table would cost around $2,250. Again, any further involvement is fairly discretionary, but we've also gotten some cost estimates on what that could look like should you ultimately decide you want to go down that road.
Thank you.
So this motion includes also the entering into an agreement with UDA.
Yeah, that's what the
This is the motion.
engagement letter is.
2250.
The RCA just says intervention filing, so that's what.
Yeah, so it should actually say, request the board approve the engagement letter with Uda Law Firm for intervening.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. So I would move that we intervene before the Public Service Commission and enter into an agreement with Uda Law Firm.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion or public comment? Okay, sorry, I didn't see you.
Just wondering what advantages intervening might have for the county, just like maybe advocating
that's great.
for
Spain
residents here.
could rattle off these
Yeah, I
advantages.
think Spain hinted at a few that this is a higher level than simply offering public comment. So Spain?
Do it up.
Yeah, I mean, it is, of course, ultimately up to the commissioners, what, if anything, you want to do or how do you decide to engage here. But I think that there is a certain basic level of we don't know what we don't know in terms of how the merger unfolds. And this is an instance in which there would be a majority change in governance in the combined parent company. They're relatively tight. I mean, it's 56-44 with the current Northwestern CEO being the joint CEO, but the majority of board seats being held by Black Hills. But more specifically to your question, interveners get formal party status, the ability to provide evidence and testimony, to participate in discovery, right, to ask for information or documents, the right to cross-examine or question witnesses if they so desire, influence on issue identification and final decisions. Really, it's a seat at the table in those deliberations or discussions. And again, the decision today is not, how does the county want to be deeply involved in this? What questions do we have? What issues do we want to raise? The question is more fundamentally that Monday's deadline is the deadline to reserve a seat at the table and have that ability should the county want to exercise it. Yeah, does that clear enough?
Yeah, I think the important take-home message is that this should not be interpreted as opposition to the merger. It is reserving a seat at the table and recognizing that there have been really big events in the world of energy over the past several decades that in the rearview mirror, many of us maybe wish that we had been more involved with, whether it was deregulation or the dissolution of Montana Power. This is an opportunity to, in recognition of we don't know what we don't know, being firmly at the table and being able to be more of a active participant in how this unfolds and simply being a passive commenter.
Neither is this a demonstration of support for the merger. It's not opposition or support. There does exist a great potential for this merger to have an effect on ratepayers who are folks we represent. So having a seat at the table means we can look out for their interests in a way that we wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Nice counterbalance to my comments.
That's why we work together. Isn't that great though?
That's good, that's good.
Juan can throw in how we do this and make sure everybody's heard and
Yeah,
joy is involved.
Missoula County is 10% of Northwestern's, base, so thank you, Spain, for that. But
Yeah,
seat at the table.
seat at the table. Yeah,
No idea where the conversation is going to go.
could be fantastic for all of us. Who knows? We'll find out.
Okay, was there a motion?
There was a motion and a second.
Okay. Any further comment, discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Other correspondence? Okay, have a great Thursday, everyone. We're adjourned.
Done.
Well, I like your